Tavaren.
Yeah.
It's the familiar scents and smells and feeling underneath your head that tells you that you are no longer in Thither, no longer in Yon, no longer in Prismeer, but lying down in a familiar meadow. As you look up straight, having opened your eyes, you can see the familiar star-speckled skies, though in a configuration you don't recognize. And then they start to shift faster, as if somehow they were being accelerated on their way, then stopped, then moved again. You can see in the sky the arrangements of planets and celestial bodies from different places or timelines, you're not exactly sure. As you sort of stand up, or at least sit up, you can see just two silhouettes illuminated by not candlelight but firefly light. One of a centaur. Her body sort of slumped to one side, her head lying on the shoulder of that of another figure, sort of sitting in a sort of cross-legged position, pointing up to the stars, the two talking. What do you do?
I guess I'll slowly walk over and I hope I'm not intruding.
You see your mistress, and by the cloak she's wearing, by just the just by the face that she's wearing, she's in full summer glow right now. As she turns and with a hand gesture sort of takes leave of her companion, stands and sort of moves in your direction. Around her you can see the grasses growing bright deep green as her mood seems to radiate around her into the ground, into the flora. Tavaren, it's good you've come. We've been waiting for you for a while.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We've been busy, I guess.
Don't. You have nothing to be sorry about. The time that we have spent here has been... No, time is ephemeral here. You know this.
Yes.
If you've arrived at this moment, it's because this is the moment you were to arrive. You've done much since we've last talked.
I suppose, yeah. It's, yeah, lots of things going on.
It's strange how strands of fate, especially pulled by one who would interfere with it, would bring such marvels. I was under the impression that this quest, this adventure, was to help you find something you had lost. But I see that the Pale One's schemes went deeper. As she turns her head over her shoulder to look at the silhouette of the man that you sent through just recently.
Oh. Hello.
to the Fey, in the shadow of the Fey beacons. He sort of waves, waiting, as in he's standing up, hands clasped at his at his waist, sort of waiting to be summoned into the conversation, but ready at any moment. I had not realized that I had lost him, not in the way that I do now. It is both a joyous and troubling development, as I feel now in some ways indebted to the Pale One. But nonetheless, I would thank you for the involvement that you had in bringing him to me.
I mean, we crossed paths. I guess it was kind of fate.
Yes, somewhat. But I would hear of you. How are your steps going? What strands have you been pulling at?
We've been getting into different kinds of trouble with the three hags that's well govern what used to be Prismeer.
Well, that was always predestined. Always the plan, always the story.
Okay.
But what about you, specifically?
Oh. Ooh, that's a big question. Oh, well. You remember that 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 girl?
I do.
So it turns out that she was not herself. And I'm not entirely sure if the new it's things are hard.
When you left me, you asked to be mutable, changeable, so that you could take an identity that would suit her better.
Yes.
What of that?
Well, I mean, it's we she like accepted my actual form, but then she is not the person that did that anymore. And see, it's all very complicated. So basically, there's a whole new person that I'm trying to get to know.
All the while trying to determine who you are yourself.
Yeah, that too.
I would offer you this, then. A boon of some sort. A way to avoid a choice. Or maybe, in better words, put it into your own hands. She picks a sort of a blue flower from her hair. It's this. It'd be a mixture between an orchid and a tulip, as in closed bud, meaty sort of petals closed in. Take this. consume it. As
No question, like...
as the petal, as you crush the petals beneath your teeth, there is that scent, that aroma, that taste that sort of overtakes you. It tastes like magic. It tastes and smells like summer. And then it moves into autumn, and then winter and spring, and all these different aspects. As you look to at some point, you feel that sap's still on your fingers, and you look to them. You can see now, as you're looking towards your hands, both the Firbolg form and the human form, overlapping each other, translucent to each one. And it takes but the slightest bit of concentration to stabilize into one shape. As you touch your face, you realize that now what illusion magic you had used to move from one shape to another, from human Tavaren to Firbolg Tavaren, is now just of a thought, and not illusion anymore, but permanent. The second part of that boon, you understand, is a way to link yourself with the others, a way to be more connected to the others' triumphs. And lastly, as the man from Chult sort of moves up and says, I would, mistress, if you would allow it, offer my thanks as well for saving me and bringing me here. A boon that I hope I offer to you, but will help you and others around you, the way you helped me.
Okay. I mean, it wasn't just me.
No. But I hope that through you, I may be able to help the group.
Okay.
As such, Tavaren, you feel your mind being filled with knowledge, facts, about there's a library of new knowledge that spills into your mind. Mostly about plants, other facts, basically. In short, you are now proficient with the nature skill, but also, in the case of Arcana, History, and Nature, whenever you need to make a test out of these, you will roll an extra d4.
Ooh.
That is Obaya's, I believe that was his name, boon. As for your mistress, your boon is the fact that your disguised self, as long as it is for moving from Firbolg to human, now no longer has a duration. And lastly, the Tireless Reveler feat, which will allow you, should any of your companions use their heroic inspiration, and if you would like it, you get it back as well. Sharing the triumphs.
Fancy.
The two have now sort of linked arms as they're looking towards you. There's maybe something expectant of them. They're waiting for your reaction. That smile of the mistress that seems to echo on the young man's face. He seems younger. There's a lot of the pain. There's a lot of the wrinkles and stress that seemed to have almost been erased from his face.
I can't thank you enough, but I feel like this is too much, and now I owe you.
No, you do not. Free Prismeer. Defeat the hags and the coven. And you will have done something for many, including us here in this meadow. You still have a lot to do. And I think it is time that you get back to it. As she sort of reaches out, sort of cups your chin in her hand. A sort of in that motherly sort of gesture, caressing her thumb along her cheek. And then there's just a moment where she brushes her other hand across your face, closing your eyelids. And as you wake up at a start, you can just hear Mina coughing in the library, covered in dust. Hello, friends. How are we all doing?
Warm.
Warm, yes.
I think warm is the team.
As we are taping this, we are going through quite the heat storm. The heat wave. Sorry. Storms are... Well, storms was last session, I guess. So we're trying to avoid them this time. No. Oh, and for those who are wondering, yes, Ysdred's camera is working, but they are embracing the darkness, which is appropriate considering where we find our adventurers at the beginning of this episode. As a quick reminder, last episode was a bit of there were revelations, right? And a bit of a plot drop, I guess, as you had scoured the library and found a whole series of supposedly prophecies written from the hand of the local hag. One of them in particular, a few actually, seemingly recounting her own demise in one shape or another, and mentioning that time was no longer on their side, that the Hourglass Coven's sands were running out. And Mina decided to open a book that was, well, trapped with mummy dust, but her constitution and I guess reflexes managed to save her from a fairly gruesome curse. You decided to continue your exploration down a dark corridor, and where Plum was hovering with his new wings above the floor, it was Ysdred who fell into a trapdoor, with the only injury that of insult when one of a small illusionary magic produced her name on a tombstone. Prop tombstone, to be exact. We find the four of you, five, with Tavaren's pet eagle, or hawk. As you entered a small theater room, a stage illuminated with with sort of a dull white moon-like lantern, casting these pale shadows across the entire room. And as you sort of moved along with some of these cardboard cutouts the shadows seem to jump from or stay in place even as though they move. And then you saw this rippling of the shadows as the light kind of changed. As you entered, as you realize that the shadows around you are alive and moving, one of them in particular seems to jump. Not necessarily from the seats, no, but from a corner of the room's ceiling onto a hanging trapeze, which starts to move. While Plum, you do not hear music. There is no music in this room. But the same way you would almost expect it, you can hear as you recognize the act, and you recognize the silhouette. Mina, I think you almost as well, as the trapeze artist starts moving and jumping, going from form to form, acrobatics to acrobatics, jumping to wall, back to the trapeze and backwards. You see the other shadows that seem to now be sitting in seats, still two-dimensional, but you can almost guess the shapes. Some you can kind of start seeing in this pale imitation of moonlight faces, or figures in a way. They're almost recognizable. Including one which, I guess Tavaren, you would notice this. One sort of burlier, wider shadow. Who seems to be wearing, the head is sort of characteristically hairy, sort of drooping ears, but the body seems to be wider, with sort of, not scales, what am I thinking of? Spines, sort of reptilian spine along the back, as it seems to be moving the props on the stage back into place. Trying, at least. As you can see that it's basically almost sort of pushing onto its back, trying to move inch by inch the the wooden cutouts of these trees and other accessories. What do you do?
Are we certain to recognize the silhouettes, or is it just like an inkling of, wait, that might be, or that looks familiar?
At least there are two that are fairly recognizable. The first one is Hurley's. Is it Hurley? No, Hurley. I forget which one. Hurley. Hurley in that sort of dragon half costume, that half dragon costume. And the other one swinging on that trapeze, jumping from wall to wall. The face is unmistakable, of that of Gleam. A moon-like
Mask.
a moon-like mask, yes.
Oh.
Gleam, who is currently waiting outside. So, what do you do?
Is this a reproduction of an old spectacle?
Are you asking that to me, or are you asking that?
No. I'm. That's Mina who mutters that under her breath.
The other shadows seem to be. I mean, Plum, you sort of flew in straight in the middle, ready. They don't seem to be aggressive in any way. They seem to be taken in by the show that is happening above them. Ever so often, you'll see, with the angles of light, you'll see them sort of clapping or cheering. Some might even sort of are digging into containers, or this looks like showgoers, eating snacks, nuts or corn or whatever. We're kind of sort of pointing upwards.
Okay. I think I'm at the Tavaren screen, so it gets closer to, like, probably
Hurley's shadow,
yes.
which is this one right here, as I mark with the little fist.
Right. So the Tavaren will, like, get up on the stage and, like, sort of go like, huh? How? You're not. You should be back with your owner.
The shadow
How?
probably. The shadow is across the floor, right on the same plane as all of the props, and it seems to be sort of moving towards you, almost in a way of trying to shoot not you but your shadow.
Yeah.
Lined up against, and there's almost this silent conversation. You can almost hear him trying to shoo somebody who's not supposed to be on stage.
Yeah. I think the Tavaren will actually, like, take a step next to him so that their shadows align nicely, and then sort of, like, looking at the shadows, go like, extend the hand, like, come on, let's go.
Okay. It is. The bugbear's shadow sort of seems to look at the hand, goes to shake it, and there is that while it grabs your shadow, you do feel the pressure on your own hand. It's cold, not necessarily in a... You don't feel pressure around your hand, just where the pressure might be, it's got a different flavor, and that is that coldness of stone in the rain. Cold, wet stone. And it sort of points to the prop that you have sort of moved over or whatnot, that it needs to sort of... And basically it sort of tries to push it back into place, but not being able to actually interact with the physical part of it. Seems to be a bit lost. Plum?
Yes.
What are you doing?
I think I'm gonna go a bit closer and I'm gonna check like the surroundings, because I'm a bit fascinated by this thing there also.
The what? Which one? The orb there?
Light. The light. So it's like a little moth going towards the light.
Yes, it is very much. It is again. This is the source of illumination for the group, right? This is the sort of artificial moonlight. It is a whitish tinted globe. You can't really see the light source inside if it's. And it is, it is very much a. Yeah, I guess it would be, it's a sort of a moonlight imitation.
I'll try to, because there's a bit of shadow play. I think Plum gives a little smile and starts to do like little gestures in like put a little lamp and you do like little dog sign and a dog sign, and he's just playing a little bit while everyone else is looking, and he's just looking at it and looking around him and playing a bit with his own shadow that he's doing, mimicking in front of the light at the same time also.
I think Ysdred is gonna be watching everyone's shadows, like being very careful about where everyone's shadows lands and how the light will affect them. So she's into observation mode, basically. And yeah, she's very careful about everyone's shadows.
Okay. Anything in particular you're trying to avoid, or?
I guess she'd like to avoid their shadow mixing with the shadows in the audience, or going to unknown shadows. I don't know, but yeah.
Okay.
Not to cross anything shady or...
Mina?
Mina is more interested in when that, if she can determine when that performance is happening. Is it something that's happening right now or not? Because if it's, and that's when I'm gonna check, but if it's gleam, on the trapeze and not glister, that means that it's before the hag cast gleam away from her castle.
So, okay, make me an insight check.
Insight, not investigation. I'm
You know
kidding.
what? You're
Or his-
I will give you both, but I will not give you the same information.
Okay. Let's do investigation. Let's see. Yay!
Okay, 13. Let's see. What can I tell you with the tone of 13? Okay. You're pretty sure that this is happening now. This is as Plum is making shapes on the walls, you see the acrobat trying to avoid, or you'll see others sort of react to it. This is not a shades playing out an old thing. They are reacting in time. These shadows are alive. They're not echoes of something past. So for that, you kind of think that they might be alive and they are in the present now.
Did we notice Gleam missing her shadow?
Yes, you did.
Oh dang. Okay. I forgot that part.
No worries. Yeah, Plum, make me a performance check.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you're not one for puppetry, I guess.
You know what? Just for the fun of it, can I use my heroic inspiration for this?
Sure. Okay. So that'd be a 17 then.
Hell yeah.
And Tavaren, if you did not have your heroic inspiration, you get it back.
I
now.
should have used it earlier, but I didn't have a chance yet.
There we go. So with the 17, yes, it seems that the attention goes to your puppet show, to the point where Gleam, let's call her that, or at least her shadow, sort of somersaults onto the stage, takes a bow, and then slinks back into one of the shadows behind one of the props. And now the attention of all these shadows is on you and your play, in a way.
I think the play would be of two friends having fun together, but then suddenly one of them get detached completely. Oh no, the drama! But then the two friends unite thanks to, and I try to imitate in puppet shadow thingy us at the same time that are trying to help. Of course, my puppet shadow is like with a beautiful mustache at the same time. But after that, I try to like puppet in a way like uniting each other, like refinding yourself. If I need to roll again to convey that, I don't have any problems to do that. But it's trying to give the emotion of like, hey, shadows, please listen to our story. We want you to be cool and go back, like what Tavaren said, like you're not in your place. Go back to your friend. So that's why it's like, maybe a little show like kids when they not listen. You do little show and they're like, okay, I listen. So I try to do little puppet show and see if they listen.
Do any of you have minor illusion or some sort of?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I can help.
Okay.
I have Druidcraft and Thaumaturgy. You tell me what you want and I'll give it.
Yeah, no, but if it's the idea of specifically projecting shadows and images on a wall, neither Druidism nor Thaumaturgy will do the trick. Not even present adaptation.
I have better. I don't have minor illusion. However, wait. Where is it? God damn it! Too many spells.
Okay.
Too many spells. I have
Does it
mirror
thunder-
image.
Says a Thunderstaff.
I don't think mirror image
Too
is
many
gonna be
spells.
this.
Why not? No, not me. Dang it! Where? That's
Minor.
not the one I'm looking for. I got the other one, and I got a full free casting of it. Manage spells. It's a sorcerer spell. I think I've got it. Not either.
Okay. Anyways, Plum, why don't you make me another performance check? Or actually, let's make this into a persuasion rather than performance, because you're trying to go through the echo. You got their attention with that 17. Let's see if you can try and pass along the message.
Okay, I found it. I have silent image at will.
Yeah, there we go. That would be okay. So definitely with advantage on this from Mina if you explain the plan.
Jesus. I'm gonna check one little thing. Beep, 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 beep. Okay. Let's try. Because persuasion.
Ooh.
I'm gonna use one of my new things that I learned is honeyed words. When you roll a 5 or lower on the d20 for a charisma persuasion check, you can take a reaction to reroll the check, and then you must use the new roll. I think I'm gonna use that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good idea.
You know
I
what?
am not
Roll.
sure, but I think they're not convinced. But I'm gonna try again because look at my mustache. Please. It's one more. It's already better.
That's a 6. So no, there's
What
not much
did you do
difference.
to roll? What did you do to D&D Beyond?
I guess-
Because
Well, I guess what happened is that honeyed words can only be. I don't know if these things can actually hear you.
Yeah, actually, it's like I'm doing the full show at the same time, like explaining everything. Oh man, it's beautiful, it's amazing. But in the end, the shadow puppets are like, "What the hell are you?"
DM.
In the end, it doesn't really
However,
matter.
DM. However, does he only reroll? Do you only reroll once, or is it like? Is there still advantage coming in? Because
No,
I'm
this
helping.
would be one
so-
reroll, as in you choose
One
the
reroll,
one-
okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
we'll
the
be
exact
taking the
thing.
6 and not the 11.
Okay. Because technically I'm helping, but I guess
Yes.
the helping would have
Yeah,
been
you
for
helped.
the...
You got him the 5,
Yeah, yeah.
and he re-rolled the 5 into a 6.
That is insulting to my help.
Wow.
Well, sorry, I'm trying to do something. I'm the circus artist.
Hmm.
Go on, Miss Thunderstaff. Go on stage.
I think Ysdred, you would because you mentioned that you were specifically watching the shadows and how they were sort of.
Yeah.
There seems to be confusion. They don't understand what's going on, right? You'll see they seem to be sort of leaning into one another, sort of shrugging, or sort of you can see them gesticulating, almost as if they were trying to understand what's going on. If Plum tried to issue any message to them, it is not getting through.
I think they do not get it, Plum.
With respect, I am a strong man. I bend things, I break things. Do you really think that I'm very good in shadow puppets?
It's not a judgment.
My sister is good in it, and my other family members. I didn't follow those lessons. I was more taking a nap at that moment. But if you want to try, I think with respect, ladies, I think you would be more task focused than me at the same time. I can help, but I think that I'm not going to be useful in this. Pretty please with the cherry on top of it.
Okay.
I mean, if not, I can always get some friends to help us.
I'll help, but I'm like I said, I'm not that of a performative person. I can just be.
Do we want to cast?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, I have some friends that are very good at performance.
I could also try something. Huh.
Don't ask the barbarian with a +0 on persuasion to do shit for convincing stuff.
I'd like to try something, if that's okay. Okay. I told you about the story, right? About the lake, the lady of the lake.
Huh? Yes.
I can try to translate that into shadows.
Yes, of course. If it would help, yes.
What? Because what's the message we're trying to communicate?
Well, they are separated for the moment. My logic with what Tavaren said was like, it's not their place. They need to be united again. So I was like, maybe if we convince them to go back to their main body. Difficult words, but like if they reunite, maybe it's gonna do something for them. Maybe it's gonna help them. Maybe they can go away. Maybe at the same time. Thinking gives me a
under
headache.
the impression that the shadows being here is part of what keeps everyone in the keep. So I think it is part of the the hag's pact with them.
Yes.
She separated their shadows from them, but now we know where they are. However, I don't think they are free to leave this place, and I don't think they are free to reunite with their owners.
Maybe the light up there has something to do with it, and I'm going to cast detect magic and have a look at the orb.
What is? Let's see. It definitely is magical. And this would be an evocation spell cast upon the orb itself. And it doesn't feel like a heavy spell, right? It feels very much like this is a light spell.
Yeah. It just gives them a light to have a presence around.
Yeah,
basically.
kind of. Yeah. As in, you need lights to cast shadows. Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, Mina was asking a question as to what could be. Does anybody want to try and?
I can cast the story of the Snow Queen.
Okay.
Okay.
If I can help, I'll help.
What's the story of the Snow Queen that you're trying to, and the moral of the story that you. Well, I guess the thing is, what is the expected result that you wish to do with that particular story?
Okay, so the Snow Queen, in its original version, not the frozen kind of version, is a story about a brother and a sister, and an evil mirror that freezes people's hearts. And the mirror is shattered, and there's tiny pieces of that mirror that are sent over the world, and the brother and the sister are very close together. And one day, while drinking at the river, the brother gets one speckle of the mirror in its eye. And so he begins to... Every emotion leaves him, and he's attracted to the Snow Queen's castle. And the sister is... So they get separated, and it's the whole journey of the sister trying to get back her brother. And when she arrives at the castle, the boy is the Snow Queen's servant, and she's trying to move him, but nothing works. And at some point she cries, and her tears wipes away the speckle of dust, of the mirror dust that's in his eyes, and liberating him. And they even manage to free the queen, which has as a part of the mirror in her heart. So reunion, it's kind of the message, hope and reunion.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to go with fairy tales to explain it, the beginning of Peter Pan might be the best explanation you've got.
Again, these are. I don't think that these are. Well, some fairy tales might be universal across the multiverse, including in the Feywild, where all stories exist.
Like
Peter
Wizard
Pan
of
is
Oz,
very
right?
specific.
Huh?
However, Mina, if the idea of... You know what? Make me a history check. And Ysdred, how would you be conveying this? Are you performing? Do you have some sort of shadow puppet? How are you projecting this onto the stage?
I have prestidigitation and...
Yeah, but that's not good. That doesn't give image. That doesn't make images.
Let me
You
check
need
my
some,
spells.
you need some actors to play it out for you.
Oh,
You know what? I'll give you the help action while you're telling me what I need to do, and I'll try to use my hands and everything to adapt at the same time.
I can
Yeah.
I can either bring between 1 and 4 friends, 1, 2, or 4.
Okay. You know what,
They're very
guys?
good at performing.
Considering
let's
that,
go with actors then.
let's do the let's make it let's make this a because since everybody is participating, and we're going beyond just the help action. Why don't each and one of you? We'll make this a skill challenge. Okay. And let's try and see. So each one of you give me a different skill.
Ooh.
That you will be using in trying to tell this story and to impart that message of the need of, bringing back together, and hope with it. In hope, liberation of a prisoner.
Is it my history check that counts, or do I do do I give any other skill?
I am going to put that history check to the side for now.
Okay.
So remember that 16, and then we'll get back to it at a later point, because I think we're moving in another direction than what I was.
Who's grabbing what?
So Ysdred, I think with that I think that for Ysdred that would be history, because you're trying to remember that story. You're trying to, right? And you're trying to giving that story. Or do you see
Maybe
something
not. I'd rather go with intimidation or deception, because I think Ysdred is more going to convey the threat part, the pressure part of the story. Like, there's a menace.
Well, remember, the way that I've described the situation is, unless these creatures cannot hear, right? So it will be, maybe deception. I don't see how you're going to intimidate them and try to, reunite.
It's not intimidating into reunion. It's conveying the pressure of the menace of the situation into the story. Like if you're asking what do we each bring to the story, a good plot, a good story has a threat.
Yeah.
So
guess if
I
you're
am
gonna
trying
be-
to convey the pressure.
I mean, okay, if you're going to be directing, as in because Mina has her images, Tavaren, you're going to be bringing on those actors on stage for the shadow puppets and that kind of thing. I guess a director needs to be intimidating, so that could work. Yeah, sure. Okay, roll for intimidation.
Okay.
Does anyone has a very, very good performance score? Because otherwise
My
I'm
friends
grabbing
do.
it. Sorry?
I have a +4.
My friends have a +7.
Good.
I've got a +8.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a 13.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not great, but
It's a start. Right, Tavaren, what do you do? Or who wants to go next?
No, I can do persuasion.
Okay.
So to balance out the intimidation, I can do persuasion.
Okay. Oh, you want to go in for
Yeah.
So Ysdred,
And
as
that way-
Ysdred director, Mina, what are you?
I am still going to do silent image, and add the nuances to Tavaren's actors. I'm going to add symbolic objects or nuances with either different, mostly objects, important symbolic objects.
Okay, so you're basically CGI.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're the After Effects on Tavaren. So Tavaren,
Yeah.
who
Yes.
are you summoning?
Tavaren is calling on their Monarch 3-ring circus.
Okay.
Oh no, that's not the right one. Sorry, the honor guard. I mean,
Oh
that
yeah.
one.
Okay, yeah. So.
And be calling. I do need to remove one of these.
So this is
two
yes, so-
Shatter Revelers.
Okay.
We have a performance of 7, and they also, and this is if we go long enough, if they do their performance for a minute, they can even give people watching it the charmed condition.
These are shadows.
But-
I'm pretty
yes.
sure that these things are they immune?
Probably
Immune to
immune to it, but
Yeah.
Exhaustion, frightened, grappled,
But
paralyzed,
they're
petrified.
mostly-
They are not immune to charm. Huh.
and
Interesting.
so I will, instead of using my own performance skill, I will use.
Yep. Just roll it.
Yeah.
So d20 plus 7.
I thought I would be able to click the thing on the.
Yeah, that
Oh,
gets complicated.
I'm gonna try one time to click the little die button. Yes, it does work.
Oh, very nice. So,
Hit roll.
that is a okay. So that is a 10.
Interesting. I'm not saying the roll, but okay.
Oh no,
No, it's,
it's
whispered.
It's whispered to me.
Oh, okay.
Yes, unfortunately, that is a 10. So we
So I'm
have,
definitely-
for now, we have a 13 from Ysdred, a 10 from Tavaren. Mina, you want to go and try?
Yeah, that's gonna be
I mean,
persuasion to.
Can I
add
use my heroic inspiration to make it?
If you wanted, okay, yes, if you want to use your heroic inspiration to make it a
Yeah.
12, I'll allow it. Yeah, because these
Thank you.
these are yours. Yeah. Nina?
Okay. So. Shit.
Do you want to use your
Sometimes the
heroic
dice.
inspiration?
Yeah, that's good. That way Tavaren gets his back.
Yay!
I'm using
That is
my heroic inspiration for the 21. So Mina is going to give the actors, their props, and special effects
Okay.
with persuasions as a performance.
Plum, how about you?
Well, if I can choose a role, I would take athletics.
I mean, if that's going to be, if you want to be the sort of stage manager, right?
Yeah.
The prop manager, that
Yeah,
kind of thing, I could see that as athletics.
like I'll help and I'll do the heavy lifting and carrying and like listening to Mina, like like take this prop to there and I just I'm a strong man, so I just listen to the coordination of other people and I'll use my strength to my best advantage.
As you move us around set pieces, that is a 17. That's good. So technically, you have 2 successes, 2 failures on the skill challenge. Now, Tavaren, I would tell you, I would say this. We had your summoned roll. Is there any way Tavaren himself is getting involved in this?
I mean, I think that's Tavaren is probably quite busy making sure that the 2 human satyr do what they're supposed to do.
I'm counting that in Ysdred's Ysdred's role, basically, right?
Yeah.
And she's intimidating the satyrs into the play, saying, "Do this, do that."
Yes. I mean, yeah, I think Tavaren will probably also join in, and join in the performance.
Okay. Make me a performance check.
Yeah.
And you have advantage, technically.
Hey, better than my summons.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess they are sort of okay. So the message that you impart is the importance of reuniting, the danger of being, basically you're telling them that they are not safe as they are currently, right? And it's, in a way, you're trying to wake them up from this illusion of normalcy that they are in. You are part of something different. You are part of, and as you start to look at them, Mina, I think you kind of see, you do sort of recognize there's a couple of the actors that were missing their shadows who you see here. Mm-hmm. There's other people that you of different dress and different. It's kind of difficult to know how many shadows there are exactly in this room as the light seems to shift here and there. But they seem... their agitation that I described to Ysdred has calmed down. And they seem to be... you almost sense an intensity in their silence and their lack of movement. They're paying very much attention. Mm. And I think maybe Tavaren, as you're the one who gave that final tiebreaker, maybe this is where there is that final message as you're being prompted by Ysdred off stage to say something along the lines of, please help us reunite you, or something along those lines. Yeah, there. There's Hurley, who's been on the sideline. Again, Hurley's shadow on the sideline. Is, I guess, you see slipping from outside the corner where they had been previously, you see the shadow of the acrobat. There's a hand on one shoulder between the two shadows as they start to discuss. And again, we only see the silhouette movement. We can't really see the mouths or the faces or whatnot. But they seem to come into an agreement. And they put on... There's... While Hurley's shadow will be occupied at the bottom of the stage, the acrobat will... And he aligns himself with the corner between the floor and the wall. There is... And then the acrobat, almost in a leap, jumps from floor to wall and stands foot to foot on top of Hurley's shadow. And they start to pantomime. They pantomime somehow a blade or two blades almost sort of coming in and cutting them at the legs. And then they're shown almost sort of dancing differently, separated.
Mm-hmm.
With one of them crying out in despair, and the other one, Hurley is not a very good actor, clearly, and his shadow isn't either, right? But there is literally he's trying to oversell it, clearly, right? As he goes like this, and then realizes no, he's supposed to play the shadow, therefore the placated one. It's a confusing mess between the two of them. However, there is one thing, which is you see another shadow which they prompt onto the stage. It seems to be a shadow of some sort of a warrior or sort of heavy decked in armor, a large blade, and he strikes at the shadow part of the human in shadow, the separated shadow. And Hurley, playing the shadow, is basically launches himself dramatically into the shadow, sort of disappearing, and then scrambles back and meets Gleam's feet again at the thing, and she just rejoices.
Oh, so I think that if we destroy them, they rejoin their owners?
No, I...
Can I roll an
Because
intelligence check to
Yeah.
confirm that theory? Like, you say that out loud?
Yeah.
I'll use the magnificent carny brains that I have and let the power of the circlet flow through my head. Like, that's actually... Can I just do a straight intelligence roll? No advances, nothing. Just like a eureka moment.
This would be a history. This would literally be a history check as well. So
Is that the history check
that
I
is the
rolled
history
before?
check, and we're gonna use that history
nice.
check on that.
Yeah.
Wilhelmina, do you want the help action from Plum at this point?
I'll offer you the help action.
I mean, if I remember properly, yeah, I'll take the help action from Plum.
Because that makes it from a 16 to a
21. Yeah.
Now, with the 21, you realize two things. The first is that these shadows, contrary to what you might have believed at any point in time, are not undead. They are of fey nature.
Yeah.
Which is probably why you wouldn't have been able to charm them in the first place. Secondly, that might actually be, if this is some form of curse, if there is some item that managed to separate them, destroying, there would be two ways. You destroy the spell by destroying the item or destroying the result. In this case, the shadows themselves believe that by destroying them, they will be reunited with their original bodies. Maybe they know better, but you would be tempted to maybe try. The other way would be to actually lift the curse directly from the person, but that's
There's
a heavier magic.
That's a lot of people Like 1, 2, 3, 4,
Like I
5,
said,
6, 7,
those
8,
are
9,
just
10, 11. There's-
the character the amount of tokens in the room is very much that's the kind of how much you see. You have no
Yeah.
idea how many of them are actually in the
Yeah,
room
because
itself.
they're
I only have one question because before we start to recklessly attack some random shadows,
Oh man.
some poor shadows,
you can
how
ask for
much do we
here.
feel like this is going to trigger a reaction from our hostess? How much will she consider that being attacking someone in her castle? And so therefore feeling being free to attack us.
I mean, Curly's shadow seems to want this, so we're just.
Yeah, but it's not because they want it that she can't consider it as an attack. She's devious like that.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like opening a single door could cause her to go like, "Ah, you
No,
finally."
because we were invited to explore the
Yeah.
castle.
But I mean, you know, as an
We
example.
were not invited to attack her guests. And I think in this case she's going to consider the shadows her guests. If it can bring her any advantage.
You want to make an insight check?
Let's do an insight check.
Are you saying that out loud?
Yeah. I'm very much-
Then I'll assist you in that thought process.
15.
Yeah.
These, from what you've understood with previous conversations, snipping their shadows is a punishment.
Mm-hmm.
Reuniting, but that's reuniting her prisoners with their shadow might just be an opportunity for her to punish them again. These are their however, you also know, Mina, having lived through it, that these shadows are most likely used and controlled by Evelyn in some way, as you're pretty sure that one of those shadows was the one who took your name so long ago.
I mean, you did remember how you were like that you thought it was Gleam that took your shadow, but it was this
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
and then like pointing at the shadow on the floor of Gleam.
So
And I think, actually, Mina, you will see Gleam's shadow almost sort of detach itself from the ground or the sort of approach you, and sort of stand there the same way that it stood above you all those years ago. Behind the mask, it's difficult to actually see any gaze in their eyes, but there's an expression in the mouth and in the way that it is sorry in a sense. It's sad, or it recognizes you in a way. and it has a gesture of apology.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we'll point to... Do you have a weapon on you? A dagger or...
My sling.
I think we'll point to Ysdred's whatever weapon you have at your belt, for example. And basically sort of invite the strike.
And it seems like we're just releasing them from a slavery that they don't want.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying we should rampage and try to kill every shadow that's here, but I feel that all the ones that want...
I will actually say, as she does this, the rest of the shadows
Follow suit.
follow suit. And soon you are not necessarily surrounded, but these shadows that were just sort of 2D cutouts on a surface blow up to real people, and now you kind of see their faces, you see their expressions, and none of them are peaceful, none of them are content.
Mm-hmm.
This is not going to be a fight.
No.
This will be they will gladly
They're
throw
lining up
themselves.
for execution.
Yes, literally.
Do you want me to do it? Then I look at the others.
I'm in favor.
I think Lim is offering himself as a test. Yeah, glimpse shadows.
Let's do this.
We can try to do it as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I'll ask my satyr friends to help as well.
As I say, it's not quick work, right? It is very much, I don't know, it feels, if you all line up each with the blade, right? You stab in and just...
It feels really bad, like
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going ham. Like like I just they asked for it. They want to be saved, so I'll do it quick, clean, and knowing that it will help them.
Yeah. It's weird in a way, because there's a moment, I mean, I think, Plum, you're used to now, battle is something of rage, something of, there's athletics involved, right? It's a lot of movement. Here, as one by one they present themselves in front of you, it's a battle of stillness almost. It's strange. It's not something I don't think you've ever lived through. Not like this. As you say, you go ham, but one swipe, or maybe two, to disrupt the shadow, but there's nothing there. There's nothing. You almost have to, as you swing, you almost have to hold your swing back as it goes through its shape, trying not to hit the solid people around you, and come back. It's like waving your hammer in the wind.
Yeah, and I think I would go mentally. I would just not wave around. I just would bonk their head, imagining that I'm crushing their head like as quickly as I can, without taking care of, well, that I'm not hitting Lady Mina suddenly with a hammer to the face, like, I'm gonna kill you. Sorry,
Just-
Lady Thunderstaff.
I would probably just before we sent Gleam's shadow back. Just quickly mime and use silent image to have the mask. We're still looking for, and then the mask of her sister. You never know that that the information might get back to the
Yep.
sister when she gets her shadow. It might not be, but you never know.
I think the shadow sees as you take on her sister's mask. She points upwards as you plunge as you plunge whatever dagger or that you have, and it sort of dissipates.
What's up there?
Her sister.
Sister.
Hmm.
Ysdred, how are you feeling with this? These shadows almost presenting themselves for judgment.
Pretty bad actually. She doesn't say a word and she doesn't raise a sword in the whole thing. Like she's
You're not
she's
participating?
disturbed. No, she's disturbed and very silent.
At some point, the last shadow has presented itself. It is... I think the last one would be Hurley, the bugbear's shadow. As it sort of claps silently in its hands, sort of takes a bow, the big flourishing bow, basically, and as it sort of leans down, as Plum, you bring in the hammer on top of the shadow's head.
I think for that person, I'll do the same bow out of respect for him. And then while he's bowing, you see the hammer twirl, and then...
Yeah. The Shadow Theater now lies empty. The only visible shadows now immobile in this pale moonlight. And you are left alone amongst yourselves. The two revelers. How long is the spell, Tavaren?
Hour.
An hour. An hour.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Hell yeah.
With your two revelers now pretty much at your command. I would say, Tavaren, could you describe to me these two satyrs?
Well, I think there's, especially because it's satyr revelers, and Tavaren just got the Hylas Reveler.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of similarities. Like they have a very Tavaren-ish facial structure. Like they're satyr versions of Tavaren, basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that I think that maybe you'll see something in the face, but it's mostly about how they stand and how they move, which is
like
very much trying to
there's
imitate.
There's some awkwardness to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, okay. Right. So, actually, how about this? we finish the theater here. We're going to move on to the rest of Motherhorn in a moment, but how about we take our break here?
Sure.
It's a good place to stop.
Yeah.
Go refill your water bottles. Make yourself some
Good
some
idea.
cold tea, and we will see you for the rest of the exploration in just a moment. To those watching, see you next week.